Everyone. You're welcome to this skill acquisition program. God bless you for making it a date with us. So I will give a brief introduction of myself. My name is Adetunji Adebolanle, and I'm privileged to be the CEO. I'm privileged to be the CEO of Iyis Oven Bakery. I'm located in Lagos, Maryland, to be precise. That's where I'm working from. So I'll give a brief introduction of how I started baking, just a very short one. So when I was approaching the age of 50, as you can see, I'm a bit on the middle age side. So when I was approaching that age, I was thinking to myself that how do I want to cope when I become a grandmother? I have to be asking my boss for permission. So I decided that no, it's not good enough. I need to do something. So I started praying. And then while praying, God ministered to me that I should learn anything that my heart desires. And I've been the fact that I've been exposed to baking at a very young age. I used to have an aunt that lived with us when I was young, and she used to bake. In fact, those days were the days that you prepare for catering school as if you are going to the university. So when she comes home for to do practice of what she has been taught in class, we used to sit by her. She will tell us how to mix. She will give us what's it called what's it called to mix. Yes, honey stick to mix. So we are always so excited to do that, as you know, as children. I hope you are with me. Are you with me?
Yes.
Very well. Sorry, can we
Okay.
hear
Um,
uh,
Yes, I
our
need to know
sister?
if people are hearing me from time to time
yes,
so
we are
that
with you.
we can be on the same page.
We are
Okay.
with you.
So yes, so based on that background, I decided okay, why not give baking a shot? So when I go to work in the morning, in the evening time, I will go to for training. So I did that, and then by the time I was having my birthday, I was the one that made my cake by myself, and that was where the journey of baking started. Then, as the journey was going, I felt that I needed to expand because I discovered that cake is celebration cake is not what comes in every time. So I needed to have some other things. So I started adding pastry. From pastry, I'm now in the era of bread making. And what actually spurred me into bread is also from my background. Where I grew up, we were surrounded with a lot of bakeries. So on Saturdays, bread is our usual breakfast. So we are always running to the bakery, to go and buy hot bread. And then so I discovered that most of the bread that we are having these days, they are not as good, as those days. So I asked myself, why not, give people something different from what we used to know? And so I started praying, and God gave me the go ahead. And that's how I started my journey of bread making. And to the glory of God, here we are. I bake virtually every day now. I produce bread every day. And I have people that I retail out to, those that sell in bits, 10 pieces here, 20 pieces there, 5 pieces there. And in a day, at least, I know something is coming into my pocket. So I'm sure that most of you can resonate with what I've just said. Some of us are here because we needed to do something different in our families. We don't want to be spending money on bread. Some of us are here because we want to learn it so that we can make money out of it. And some of
Sorry, ma. I think
Yeah,
there
you
is
can
a technical glitch here. We couldn't hear you for a while, and
say.
you are muted.
Are we good now?
All right, yeah, thank you.
You can hear me. Okay. So I'm trying to introduce our ingredients. We are going to we'll be using flour, we'll be using sugar, we'll be using butter, we'll be using improver, we'll be using preservative, we'll be using powdered milk. We'll also be using yeast. That's the main thing. That is what gives life to what we are doing, salt and flavor. Yeah, the measuring spoon, please. Okay, so I have somebody assisting me here. Her name is Sumade of Sumptuous Treats. She's here to assist me. So you'll be hearing me speak to her in the background once in a while. So we also have a weighing scale. The weighing scale that we'll be using is this big one. I need to just a minute. Yeah, we're using this big weighing scale, this big one. We'll be using it. But for those of us, the small scale, for those of us that can't afford that, you can use those that are still starting out. You can use this small one. We have the digital ones. It uses battery, so that one is also usable. So for my scale, move the camera back a bit. Back, back. Perfect. It's okay. Let's stand. Okay. Can you see my scale? I need you to affirm if you can see my scale. Let it
Yes,
stand.
ma.
Okay, so it's already in zero. So I'm putting my pan that I'll be using to measure, and I will zero it again. So I'm going to be using flour. Now the flour is one of the main ingredients of bread making. Then you also need your salt, very important. Salt and sugar, they balance the taste. Salt and sugar balances the taste. I have yeast here. That is what we'll be doing the fermentation. The yeast will make use of the sugar to bring out bubbles. It's those bubbles that is bringing out that makes the bread to ferment and rise and gain more to gain more volume. And that's why you have a small dough, but by the time it finishes rising, you will see that it's much bigger. Then we have improver. Now, what the work of the improver is to give the yeast a better um, condition to work. Then preservative is also part of what we are using. The work of the preservative is to make sure that the bread does not spoil on time, so that at least it can last for like 2, 3, 4, 5 days at times if it's well preserved, it's well stored. So what I normally advise is if you are doing it at home and you want to do a lot of it, once you finish doing and that's cooled down, package it into nylon and put it in your fridge for immediate use or freezer. You can freeze it. And when you want to use it, you bring it out from the freezer into the fridge. Then you bring it out onto the table and it's ready for you to eat anytime. So you can bulk produce from time to time. So then water, of course. Water need moisture to work. So much without much ado, we'll start with the measurements. So I hope you all have your biros and your jotters with you. So
Yes, ma.
for this recipe, we are going to use 1 kg. That is 1,000 grams. 1,000 grams. That's 1 kg. 1 kg. That's what you are measuring. Okay. So that's 1 kg of flour. Now, one thing I also need to mention is that yeast and salt should not come in contact with each other. If they come in contact with each other, the salt will reduce the activity of the yeast. So I always want to put my salt first, layer layer sugar on it so that it covers it before every other thing comes in. Because salt, once it comes in contact with the improver and with yeast, it will reduce its activities. So please, I need you to take note of that. So I will go in with my salt first. So for salt, we are using 14 grams of salt, 14 grams. So for this scale, I can zero it back to zero so that I will be monitoring what I'm measuring. So I'm going in with 14 grams of salt. 14 grams of salt. 14 grams of salt. Good. Are we following? 14 grams of salt.
Yes, ma.
Then I'll layer it with my sugar. So for this recipe, I'm using 120 grams of sugar. 120. So I would like to put it on top of the salt so that I can protect all the other ingredients from the effect of the salt. So I'm going in with 120 grams of sugar. So that's 120 grams of sugar. We are putting our flour, our salt, and our sugar. Now, I will go in with the improver. For the improver, I'm using just 2 grams. Then this particular scale, it's in, the digit is in 2. It measures in 2, multiples of 2. So I will go in with my improver, 2 grams. So can you see? 2 grams, improver. Then my preservative, I'll be using 4 grams of preservative. So if you notice, each time I make a measurement, I zero it before I put in the next one so that I don't get confused. So it's very important. Then I'm going in with 4 grams of preservative. Remember what I said about the preservative is to preserve the bread from getting spoiled on time. Then I'm going in with my powdered milk. So the powdered milk, I can use as low as 4 grams for 1 kg. But because I want it to be very rich, and it's also the butter milk also gives it flavor. It makes the flavor stronger. For those of us that are baking cake, this is a secret ingredient that most of us ignore. Always put in milk, powdered milk into your ingredients. You will love the taste and the smell. So I'm going in with 10 grams because I want it to be very rich. So 10 grams. Okay. So I powdered milk 10 grams. So I zero it again. Now I'm going in with my yeast. My yeast is I'll be using 14 grams of yeast. Now the thing about yeast is you have to be careful how you add your yeast. The reason being that if you use too much of it, it will have it has this particular odor that it gives and taste. So you have to be very careful the quantity that you use per time. So for this 1 kg, you use between 10 grams and 15 grams, maximum of 15 grams. Now, during dry hot weather, the weather will be very hot, you can use like 10. But once it is cold weather, because it takes longer for it to be active, you use 12 to 15. Did you get that? I hope you got that. It's something that we need to be conscious of. So I'm going in with my yeast. I'm going to be using 14 because it's actually very cold here. Where is the battery? Battery. It's around. I hope you're still seeing me. Can we see and can we hear me?
Yes,
I need to
please.
know that I'm
Well
not
done.
talking to myself.
Yes, we can. We
Okay.
can.
So from time to time, I'll be asking so that I'll be sure that I'm not talking to myself. So now I've mixed everything here with the exception of the butter and water and the flavor. So there are three things remaining: the flavor, water, and butter. Now, I don't want to put in my butter too early because butter can coat the flour in such a way that the yeast will not be able to work very well. So that's I always prefer to pour water in first, let it mix for a while, then I now add my butter. Then at the tail end, my flavor will come in. So let's go to the mixer now. No, remove the wire on this one and attach it to this one. But I need you to move the camera. Yeah. Just hold on, please, because one of the lights went off. So we want to adjust the lighting. So the mixer. So now I'm using a spiral mixer. Yes, good. So I'm using a spiral mixer. So it has the stop button, has the slow, it has a high, and this is like an emergency. You need to pause it quickly. And at times it will switch over by itself. It's like also serving as a reset button. So all my ingredients, I'm going in with it now. Everything. So I'll put it on slow for like 2 to 3 minutes to mix everything together. To mix everything together, it will be on slow. So the moment I start adding water, few minutes after that, I'll add my butter and change it to high. Change it to high so that it can start kneading. So the slow is to mix, the high is to knead. So you cover and put on slow. So it will be mixing. Can you see it? You can see it working. So to mix all the ingredients very, very well for us. So now we are going back to our scale. Why that one is mixing, we are going to measure our water. So for 1 kg, we use 500 grams of water. 500 grams of water. Okay, so another thing that I need to let you know is that for water, it depends on the type of flour you are using. There's some flour that does not take much water. So once you don't pour in all your water at once, it's going to be gradual. You can use as little as 450 and as high as 550, depending on the type of flour. There's some flour that takes a lot of water. So for this, I'm using, okay, I got to lose the, can you hear me
Yes, ma, clearly.
Can hear you, ma.
clearly? Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm going in with my water now. I'm going in with my water. So for this kind of mixer, The moment you raise the cover, it's going to stop. But I have adjusted my own, so it won't stop. But normally, once you raise the cover, it's supposed to stop. So I'm going in with my water, but I'm not going to pour in everything at once, like I told you. So you can see it's still remaining a little. Water is still remaining. So I'll give it some minutes to mix. I will check it. If the water is not enough, I will add more water. So we'll allow it to mix while I also measure my butter. So for my butter, I'm using 20 grams. Okay. I'm using 20 grams of butter. 20. That's 20 grams. So I'm going in with my butter. I need matter. So with that, I'm done with measurements. So I can take the scale out of the way for now. But later we'll still come back to the weighing machine because we are going to weigh everything. We're going to weigh the dough once we are done. You need to know. Good. So I'm going to stop and pause for a while before I put on the high. Switch it to high speed. Now, if you just go from slow to high, you are reducing the lifespan of your machine. And trust me, this machine does not come cheap. So I'm now in the medium stage. Can we say? I see that the speed has changed now. The speed is now faster. So I can check. It's still, can see that it's still very dry. So I can pour in my remaining water. So we'll leave that. It should be kneading for the next 10 minutes. So while we are waiting for it to knead properly, do you have any question? Any aspect that you are not clear about that I can clarify for you?
Yes, ma. Good morning, ma.
Any question? Yes, good morning. Please introduce yourself, your name and where you are from,
Okay.
your location.
Thank you very much for this opportunity, ma.
You're
My name is
welcome.
Agboge, Creative Director of
Okay.
Beulah Cake House. I'm from Lagos, ma. Okay, my
Oh,
question is,
my people,
thank you, ma.
thank you for coming on. All
Opportunity,
right.
we are very grateful, ma. Okay, my question is in
All
the
right.
process of the training, ma, you were talking about preservative.
Yes.
Okay, so my question, you mentioned for home use that preservative, I missed something there. I want a clarification that is it for home use, do we still need to use preservative or is not necessary? I think I missed
Yeah,
that
if
part.
you are eating it, if you are eating your bread immediately for home use, you don't need preservative. You can
Okay,
omit preservative. But if you are
okay,
storing away or you are selling it out, preservative is a must.
okay. Thank you, ma. That's my question.
You are most
Yeah.
welcome.
Good
Any other
morning.
question?
Yeah,
Good
good morning.
morning.
Yeah, my name is Adinike. Is it possible
You are
to?
from where? You are from where? Lagos,
I'm from the
Nigeria,
UK,
UK, US.
Leeds.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. So
You are
we
welcome.
can bake without preservative, right?
Yes, you can. If you are
Uh,
eating it immediately.
I don't know what you call the one you measure after the sugar. We have flour, salt, sugar. Before the preservative, there is something you put 2 grams.
Improver.
Improver. Okay.
Improve. Yes, so improve. To make it better, to give it a better condition.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. Well done.
You are most welcome. So we have a lot of brands out there that you can use. So I don't know which one is available in your area. So when you get to the store, just tell them you need bread improver. Then for the preservative, just tell them also that you need bread preservative, because there are a lot of preservative. But make sure you put bread there so that they know which one to give you. Another question. Somebody, bring the okay, you want to grease the remaining. You can come and grease it. Rush. Okay, so I have pans, different sizes of pans that I use. So any baking thing is okay, but make sure that it's not too thin. It has to be a bit thick. It has to be thick, a little. It has to be thick so that your bread does not burn. So that your bread does not burn. So for your pan, you need to grease it so that your loaf can come out easily. So for my mixing, for me to grease the pan, so I'm using mixture of butter and vegetable oil, equal weight. If I'm using 10-gram butter, I'll use 10-gram vegetable oil. So you mix it until it's very smooth. So this is what I have. So you are using it for two things: to grease the pan and also to rub the body of the dough when we are done. So I'm greasing my pan. I prefer to use brush because I don't really like messing up my hands that much. So you make sure that you oil everywhere. If you don't oil it properly, don't grease it properly, your loaf will stick to the pan and you won't find it easy to remove. So I've greased my pan. You also grease the cover, because I'm going to be covering some. I will cover some and I'll not cover some. So you need to grease the cover as well. Are we good? So I will leave my colleague to continue with the greasing aspect. So while we check on the dough. Now for the dough, for us to know whether it has mixed very well, there's a test that we call the window pane. Window, W for window pane. You know that you normally see through your window pane. So you'll be stretching it, you'll be stretching and stretching until you are able to see through and it's not tearing. You can see. Can you see? That it's not tearing. So that means our dough is ready. So we can off the mixer. Let's do it again. Can you see? There is no tearing. So this is our dough. It's our bread dough. I need to get closer. So if you look at the body of the dough, you see that it's a bit rough. You see that it's a bit rough. So I need to get it to a stage that the body will be smoother than this. Mm. So that shows me that it is perfectly ready for molding. So I will return it back. I would only wanted to show you the body. So I'm returning it back and starting. So I'll give you 2 minutes more. Please give me a minute. Let me adjust the lighting. A minute. Now you see this. So we'll use only this one. So we'll use only this light. So maybe let me remove the. So when you want to move it, you have to hold this one. Come on close. Okay. Maintain it. Also, for the for those of us that will be privileged to use this spiral mixer, once it is ready, well mixed, there's a sound that it makes. Pa, pa. As if you are slapping, you'll be hearing that sound if you are using the spiral mixer. So once you hear that sound once, twice, the third time, you are ready. So I've heard it. So that's why I stopped it.
Can I quickly ask a question, ma?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Ma, if we in the case we don't have a spiral mixer or a mixer that can mix a dough, so for how long can we knead with our manual? That's our hand.
Yes, you can. That one, I can't really give approximate timing. That's why I gave you that test that you will do. This test. Can you see? You
Yes,
can see
ma.
that it's very light. You can
Yes.
see through. You can
Yes,
see
yes.
my finger from the other side. Can you see?
Yes. Yes, ma.
So that's one of the tests that you can use to know that it
Okay.
is ready. And if you look
Okay.
at the body now, you can see that the body is
Very
smoother than before. Very smooth,
yes.
good. So
Thank you.
we are set now. So we are set now. So we bring in our main machine. You can see that it's not sticking on the table. Can you see it? That it's lifting. If water is too much in it, it will be sticking to the table. You can see it. Can you see that it's not sticking? But
Yes.
if it's too watery, it will be sticking to the table. The cutting, listen. Okay. So now, for this pan, for this particular pan, I use 250 grams. And then for those of us in Nigeria, this is the pound for 500 naira bread. For those of us in Nigeria, this is the pound for 500 naira bread. So I'll be putting 250 grams. So I have my scraper that I'm using to cut. So I will be weighing it out, 250 grams each. So 250. So it depends on your pan. That's what will decide the quantity that you are going to cut, the quantity of dough that you are going to use per pan. Depends on your pan. So another 250. So we have three. 4 loaves. So please, accuracy is very important when it comes to bread. Accuracy of the weight is very, very important. For the improver, if you use too much of it, your bread will have aftertaste. You have that bitter. I don't know if you have experienced it before. You are eating bread, and after eating, the thing is so sweet. And after eating, you just start feeling some bitterness in your mouth. That is the effect of the preservative. So we have this small one remaining, 170. So this one too, I will do something with it. So we have 6 loaves. Okay, so this is where I need you to pay rapt attention. I need you to pay attention. After you have weighed, you now want to mold. Now, your molding is very, very important. In fact, it's a key factor in bread making. If you don't mold very well, I will show you one or two example of. I deliberately did it like that so that you will see. So I will show you later. So you can see it's very flexible. You can see it. You can see it's not breaking. Instead, it is stretching. Hmm? Can you see? Now, you place it down. Use your fingertips to spread it on your table. Now, I'm going to teach us the envelope method. There are so many ways to mold. Many, many ways. I'm going to teach us the envelope method. We all know how the envelope looks like. We know that it has 4 foldings. So we'll fold one side, we flip one side a little over the other, you press it down. The reason why you are pressing is I want to make sure there's no hair trapped. If hair is trapped in between, when you finish baking your bread, you will have big pockets of holes in it, and you don't want that. And worse, it can even loosen the molding. So then, the second side, a little, you flip over a little, and you press down to make sure there's no hair trapped in the fold. Now, we have done 1, 2, 3. The one away from you, you lift it up a little and fold it over. You use your finger to press it down. If you are the type that have your nails fixed, you can use this side of your palm to press it down so that there's no hair trapped. Then you now flip over. Can you see it? After flipping over, you have 2 things that you can do. Either you use your fingers to pinch it, but I always prefer to roll it. Exert a little pressure and roll it. Roll it. Exert a little pressure. Can you see my fingers? As you are rolling it and you're exerting that pressure, that line where you joined it is closing up. Can you see? You can see that it has closed up. So if for any reason you didn't do it very well, you can always, if there's any place, you can always use the tips of your finger to close it up very well. Because if you don't close it up, hair will be escaping from there, or it will form large pockets of hair trapped in it, in your bread. Or it can open. It can open up. I will show you the one that I did yesterday that I deliberately did a very small one so that you can see. So let's go again. You stretch a little. You stretch a little, place it on the table. Use your finger to spread it more. One side a little up like that. You press it in. The other side too. You press it in. You now hold the edge. So another thing you can do is these 2 edges, you try to make it meet in the middle. I will show you something now when I finish doing this one. Press it in. Make sure there's no hair trapped. You roll it over. And you now roll to make sure that there's no hair trap and that the seam is covered. Now, I want you to observe something. You remember I said this one, the edge, I try to make it meet in the middle. See how close the mouth is. And look at this one. You can see the difference. So, but this is the best. Well closed from both sides. So if your pan is long, you can, as you are rolling, you are using it, you are spreading it. You are rolling, you are spreading it. You are good to go. So here we go again. Let's go again. Hold one side in. Hold the second side in. Now, from the tip, the two tips to the middle. Can you see that it's forming like a round? It's not flat. It's not straight. So now flip over and you roll. Flip over and you roll. And the seam has to be closed, you can see. Let's do it again. The last two, I will show you another style that you can use. Okay, in case your dough is a bit softer than this and it's sticking to the table, just a little grease on your table, very little, just to make the surface a bit slippery so that it doesn't stick. So you flip a little, the other side too, you flip a little, make sure that everything is well arranged, then you lift, press in, or you use your palm to, then you roll over. Then exert a little pressure, and as you're doing that, it is spreading and getting longer, depending on, so like this one is not well closed, so I can use my finger to close it. So now I want to show you another method that you can use to, so for some people, they prefer to just be folding in left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Then until they finish, then you now roll. Just roll like the other one. You roll until the line is closed. You can see closed, but this one is still remaining, so I'll pinch it in. This one is okay. I'll pinch it in. And if I want it longer, you roll out and make it longer. So you're good to go. Then let's also do that same method for this one too. Just left, right, left, as if you are tucking it in. You are tucking it in. Then you roll. So those two methods you can use comfortably, depending on which one is easy for you. So here we go. So now, after we are done with our molding, and each time you do each one, make sure that the same side is facing down. When you want to place it in the pan as well, make sure that the same side, where they meet in the middle, make sure it's facing down. The oil. So here I have to use my hand. Now, I always like to use that oil and butter. That oil and the butter. I always like to use it to rub on the dough. So what this does is it gives it additional flavor. 1, 2, then it makes the body a bit shiny. You can see that it's no longer dull. So I place it the same down, that same line facing down. So if it is for home If it is for home use, you can use only butter to rub it. Since you are the one eating, it's not as if you are going to count the cost. So it's going to the family that is the one eating it. So you can decide to be very generous with your butter. So okay, like this one now is a bit longer than the pan. So what I have to do is as I'm moving it up, bouncing it up, I'm pressing it a little in so that it can become a bit smaller. So the next thing is for us to cover. Now I'm going to use two types, the covered one and the uncovered one. You can leave it open. You can leave your pan open in case your pan does not have cover. You can leave it open, but I will show you the end result of each. Remember, we glazed both the pan and the cover. So the next thing now is for us to provide the environment for it to ferment. The environment. That's not fun. Okay, so for this small one, I want to, for those of us that stay in Lagos, there's what we call bread onibeji, twin bread. So I want to quickly teach you that one. So I want to divide this into two. My 170, that divided by two, that's an 85. So no, I did it. Let's cover this one. Eighty-six, 84. Okay, so you open that one. Let's see how far it has gone. The one that you used earlier. So this one now, I want to make it round and place it here. So just tuck it in. For those of us that have made donut before, tuck it in. Then on the table, you roll. Either you roll on the table or you roll on your finger, on your palm. Being one of the ones that we just did. Open it. I need to show them some. Okay, so you place. So another thing that I also want to bring to your awareness is the fact that it's better you finish molding everything before you start greasing with butter, because once there's too much butter on your finger, it will not close. The butter will not allow it to gum together. So that is what is happening to this one now because of the butter on my hand. See, that's why it's not closing easily. So that means it take me longer for it to close up. So I've pinched it in. So I'm going to rub butter on it and place it. Rub butter on it and place it. So the two of them will rise at the same time and they will meet in the middle. So they will be like twin bread. Okay, so now this is what we just did now, and this is the one that we did earlier. You can see the difference in size. It will take like minimum of 1 hour to 2 hours for it to be properly fermented and fill up the pan. At least it should get to 3/4, almost filling up of the pan. That is the one that you want to leave open. But for the one that you want to close, once you close it and it has risen to that stage, when you try to move the cover, you find out that the dough has already met with the cover. So it will give you a kind of resistance. You won't be able to shift the cover. So that tells you that it is ready for you to go and put in the oven. So it's on this one to back this and cover this one back. So with that, we are done with mixing, weighing, and molding, and putting into the pan of bread making. Any question before I show us the end result of our bread? Any question?
Thank you very much, ma.
You are most welcome.
Yeah, ma. My question again is the water aspect. I want
Okay.
to ask that what temperature of water do we use? Is it just the normal room temperature, or we use a very cold water? Thank you, ma.
Okay. For water, you can use normal room temperature water. But the moment you use cold water, it will take longer. The time, that's why I gave you time range for the fermentation period. 1 hour, minimum of 1 hour to 2 hours. But once it's getting beyond 2 hours, they know that something is wrong. So your water for small quantities like this, for anything less than 3 kg, I would advise that you use normal room temperature water. But once it gets to 3 kg and above, you use something that is slightly cold. The reason being that as you are mixing in the mix, as it is kneading, you are creating friction. Hold on, please. Add the other one too, so that you cover everything together. So as you are mixing, you are creating friction. Friction will generate heat. And what does yeast need to work? Heat. So as you are mixing and generating it, that means the fermentation is already starting inside the mixer. So by the time you are molding, it will be very difficult for you to mold. It will be very, very difficult for you to mold. The body will not be smooth. The body will be very rough. So that is why cold water is recommended for higher volume. Cold water is recommended for higher volume. So are you okay with that answer? Any other question before I go further?
Yes,
Any
very
other
well.
question?
Okay.
Okay. So now the end result, because we cannot, it will take us the next 1 hour to 2 hours before we can take it into the oven. So I want to show us the end result. So for the one that is not covered, the top will be dome like. This is what you come out with. For the pan that you did not cover, but for the covered pan, this is what you come out with. This is the surface to be flat. This is what you come up with.
Okay.
Then you can use other shapes too. You can use other shapes of pan. This is another shape. Hold on, let me show you the pan of this one. That's a small.
Okay, ma. For the covering part, ma,
Okay.
can we use maybe a clean towel to cover up the pan, or a cellophane wrap or nylon or something? If we don't have a
Yes, while it is while it is rising, while you are fermenting it, it is always good for you to cover it to create a warm environment for it. So what I use for big companies, they use proving cupboard. It's a kind of special cupboard that is built. It has racks in between. Then there's a regulated temperature in it. The temperature in it is regulated. But for startups, you can just put all the pans on a table that won't be a table that is not easily accessible to anybody, so that it doesn't shake or anything. Then you use nylon to cover it, to cover all the pans together. But individually, you can use your cling film to cover the top. You can use your cling film to cover the top if you don't have cover and you want it to be flat. But it won't be as flat as if you are using the pan that has cover. Because by the time you put it in the oven, give me another small pan. Yeah, thank you. So let's demonstrate it. Now, the dough will be becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. Don't forget that you have greased this before you put the dough in it, and you have greased your cover before you cover it. So once you cover it, as the dough is getting bigger, it will get to a stage that it will be touching the pan. So once you see that it has touched the pan, that's the signal for you to go and put it in your oven. Now, when it gets inside the oven, the heat in the oven will make the yeast work faster. So it will give it more volume. But because you have covered it, because it is covered, it cannot go beyond the lid. So because of that, it is spread. It is spread. And that is why you come out with this flat. But if there's no cover, once there's no cover, it will keep rising until it gets to its limit where it will stop. After it gets to its limit, then it will start getting baked all over. Then the color will start changing and becoming brown. So part of what the butter also helps you to do is to quickly get the brown color. It fastens it. Then you can see that the top is smooth. Can you see? The top of this one is smooth. That other one is because of I've arranged other bread on it. That's why it's not. Okay, let me show you the second one. Okay, we can use this one. So this is wheat bread. This is wheat bread. You can see the top flat and shining. You can see that the body is not dry. It's not looking dull. So that is the result that we get. Then for this pan, this is the bread from this pan. This is the bread from this pan. From this pan, this is the bread from it. That small one, is there anyone remaining? That long small one. Is there anyone remaining? Okay, open that cupboard. You will see one there. So I want to show you another shape that I made. No, the first one. You see them stacked on top of each other. So this another one. That small pan that we used that time, that we used to do the remaining, this is it. And this is what comes out from down. So this is it. So any pan of your choice at home you can use. For those of us that are bakers, you can use any of your pan. You can even use the round pan. You can use the round pan. If you're using the round pan, just use that last method that I used. Cut it into small, the same size, everything. And arrange it round. Then put one in the middle. And you will see it coming out beautifully. Any other question before we go on to doughnut? Any other question? Do we have any questions? Can we hear me?
Yes, ma, we can hear you.
I think
Any question?
there are two questions in the
Okay, in the chat world.
in the chat. One says,
Okay.
"Can I use evaporated milk?" And the other one says, "Can we use any flavor?"
Yes, you can use any flavor of your choice. You can use any flavor of your choice if you are producing at home. But if you are producing for sale, it's better you use the accepted flavor, which is super milk. If you notice that virtually all the bread smells almost the same thing, so it is super milk flavor that is being used. You can use vanilla. You can decide to use strawberry. You can decide to use lemon flavor. You can use pineapple flavor, banana flavor, any flavor of your choice you can use. Then for the milk, yes, you can use evaporated milk instead of water. You dilute your milk with the water and then you use it as your liquid. But it's still going to be the same quantity. It's just that it will add more nutrients and to add more flavor. And the taste will be, of course, will be different.
Thank you. Any other
So,
question?
any other question? Paper, on paper tomorrow. Use paper. Agent. Okay. Any other question before we move to donuts?
Thank you very much, ma'am.
You're most welcome. Okay, so we move to the part of donut. So for donuts is almost almost the same thing. It's just that for like I said, for home use, you can try not to put preservative if you are eating immediately. Um, but there's no improver. But although commercially, for those that are producing in large quantity, they use improver. But since you are using just 1 kg, we will not need to use improver. So just the same basic ingredients: flour, sugar, salt, yeast, butter, egg. So for this one, you are adding egg. For bread too, you can add egg to be part of your liquid. But if you're adding egg, you have to reduce part of your water so that the water does not get too much, so that the liquid doesn't become too watery. So you just reduce the water a little to accommodate the egg. So it makes it more nutritious, of course, for you. So for those of us that are health conscious and you have growing kids. So then we are also adding nutmeg. And this time around, we're going to use vanilla as our flavor. Nutmeg and vanilla. So it will give you that characteristic, donut feel. So this one is different from our normal pillow soft donuts. This one is what we can also prepare at home for our little ones. You can prepare and put it in the fridge. You can prepare and put it in the fridge for them. So when it's to take to school as snacks. So for these donuts, we'll be using two different shapes. I'll be using the normal round donut that we are all conversant with and the ring form. The ring form, I'll be teaching us two different ways to make the ring form in case we don't have the ring donut cutter. So just give me a minute, let me bring in the ingredients. So for the donuts, like I said, we'll also be using 1 kg. So for those of you that do not have a machine, for those of you that do not have a mixer to mix, you can still use our hand for the donuts. We can still use our hands to mix the donut. So are we ready to take the ingredient, the recipe? So we are using 1 kilogram of flour, 1 kilogram of flour, sugar. We are using okay, sorry about that. So 1 kg flour, zero, 120 grams of sugar, okay, in the whole tray. I'll just be picking. You can make the potato. I'll be picking it down. Thank you. Thank you. So before I forget, for yeast, you can use instant dry yeast that I'm using for everything. Instant dry yeast. Okay, so we have weighed our flour, we have weighed our sugar. So before we go in with our salt, this one. So we go in with our salt. We are using 14 grams of salt. Still diluting. That should give you 1 egg from the fridge. So we are using 14 grams of salt. Good. So we can go in with our yeast. Our yeast. So like I said, yeast and salt, they are not friends though. Once it comes in direct contact, it will kill the yeast. So you put your yeast at another side of the flour. So we are using 10 grams of yeast. 10 grams of yeast. Okay. Very good. Then we go in with our nutmeg, half teaspoon. Our nutmeg, half teaspoon. So for nutmeg, you can use the seed, you grate it. After grating, you blend. You blend it very well. In fact, I prefer this because this one is stronger. So, but for this purpose, we are using the ready-made one. So I'm using half teaspoon. So half teaspoon. You can also put a bit of cinnamon. If you don't want nutmeg, you can use cinnamon instead of nutmeg, or you can combine the two. So if you are combining the two, that will be quarter of each. In fact, the cinnamon should be lesser than a quarter because cinnamon is usually very strong. Usually very, very strong. So we are going in now with so we are done with all our dry ingredients. It now remains our butter, our egg, water, and our flavor. So I want to pour it. We are still going to use the same mixer. You can use your hand to mix. If you are going to use your hand to knead, all you have to do is, as it is in the bowl, just make sure that you have a bowl that is large enough for you that you can use, can freely move your hand. You mix everything with your whisker or with your hand, washed and clean. So once you do that, After mixing everything, you make a hole in the middle. You make a hole in the middle. Then you start adding your liquid ingredients. But I always prefer, like I said, I always prefer to mix everything first before I add my butter, so that the butter will not shield the yeast from acting on the other ingredients in the recipe. So after mixing everything together, you can now add in your butter and you mix. It will be like crumbs. Once you add your butter, it will be like crumbs. Then you now start adding your other liquid. We can, instead of milk, or instead of water, you can also use milk for your donuts. It gives it more taste, gives it more flavor, and it gives it more nutrition. So I've told us what each one of these things are used for. You can also use powdered milk for your donuts. So let's just add like 4 grams. Let's add like 4 grams. 4 grams. So let's add milk to it. So everything into the mixer. Everything to the mixer. So we start on slow to mix. So we are going to measure our butter. Our butter is okay. So our butter is 40 grams. You can see that the butter you are adding for donuts is more than the one that you used for your bread. So I'm going in with the butter. So I will allow it to mix very well before I add my liquid. You can move the camera for it. Okay, don't want to touch it. Okay, so you can clear everything from the table now. The question of this two. We are going to that up. Okay. We are going to weigh our water now. You're also going in with 500 grams of water. So like I said, you can decide to make it milk instead of ordinary water. 500 grams. Okay. So 500 grams of water and the egg. It's warm. I need a small bowl. So I'm going in with the egg first so that I might not need to even finish all the water. So I can now start adding my water. So I will not finish all the water. I will retain some and check later if I still need to add more or not. So let's do a quick recap of our measurement. I said for donuts, we are using 1 kg of flour, 14 grams of salt, 120 grams of sugar, 10 grams of yeast, 40 grams of butter, 1 egg. Then our vanilla, we'll add that one soon. Nutmeg, half teaspoon, and our water, 500 grams. We are not adding all the water at once because of the egg. So watch out and see the texture before you add the remaining water. So I will stop and change it to high so that it can start kneading. Then our vanilla, dark vanilla essence. You can use strawberry, any flavor of your choice. But we all know that donuts comes out better with mixture of vanilla and nutmeg. You can even add cinnamon if you don't want nutmeg. You can add cinnamon to it. So I'm going in with my 1 teaspoon, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, dark vanilla essence. So while we are waiting for it to mix, wait. So you need a bit of water, just a little. So I still have some water left. So that's why I said it's better we go in with the egg first, then the water. So while we're waiting for it to knead, do you have any question? Any question? Hello, I can't hear you.
Hello, ma. The questions in
Yes.
the chat box, I've got
Okay.
two, but one has been answered by another participant. The first one
Okay.
was, what does improver do to donuts? And the second one was, what's the measurement for the butter, please? And somebody answered and said 40 butter, 40 gram.
Yes, 40. Okay. So the improver, just like in bread also, all these things are dough. Dough is our main, is the main thing that we are working with. So it gives it a better platform for the yeast to act. It's like creating a better condition of living. Yes, a better condition of living for the yeast for it to work on. So, and it's always, like I said, it's always for those that are producing in bulk, that are supplying, that normally use the improver. But for home use, we don't really know that.
Thank you, ma'am. Please, any
You're
question,
welcome.
please, you can just ask now. Anybody. Thank you.
So no question? So can I ask my own questions now?
Yes, ma'am.
So tell me one new thing that you have heard today about bread making that you don't know, you never heard of before. Just one thing that, so this is part of bread making? Anything that took you by surprise in the bread making, the recipe or the procedure?
Thank you very much, ma, for the class, ma.
You're welcome.
Okay, I think one of the things I just learned today in bread making is the fact that I've heard so many lectures on bread making, and like we must use very cold water even if we are not using we are not producing in large quantity. In fact, to the extent that some will say you must use ice block So this really melted my heart, like, oh wow, so we can do with normal room temperature water. So thank you for that eye opener, ma.
You are most welcome. Another person would like to tell us what you have learned today, something new
Yeah,
you
the
are hearing for the
folding.
first time.
The
The
folding.
folding.
Yeah,
Okay.
we should try as much as possible not to allow space or hair into it. Thank you for that.
You are most welcome. Another person, something new you are hearing for the first time in bread making. I'm still going to ask for donuts. Something new that you are hearing for the first time.
I think for me, thank you so much for the session. I really
You are
enjoyed every
welcome.
part of it. So, but I like the bread improver. We can ask them for bread improver, or sometimes we go there, we don't put the word bread there to ask for something. So you
Okay.
said we should say bread.
Yes,
Thank you.
because there are so many things that you use improvers to do, and there are so many brands. Some brands are not okay for bread making, so you need to be specific. You need to be specific.
One thing I
Another thing.
learned today.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Hello.
Yes, I'm listening. I'm listening to you.
One thing I learned today.
Okay.
In my own recipe for the
Okay.
donuts,
All right.
I have like 4 eggs for 1 kg. But I can see you had
Okay.
only 1 egg
Only
for
one
one
egg.
kg. Yes.
Okay. The aspect of eggs, you can use up to 2 for 1 kg. You can use up to 4, but if you are using 4, you are reducing the quantity of your water. That's 1, 2. You cannot use that as much as 4 eggs if you are producing commercially. Maybe you have a party and maybe your child is having a birthday party and you want to produce donuts for like maybe 50 people. So how many crates of eggs will you now use? Do you get? So based on that, one egg is enough. In fact, some people don't even put egg. Some people don't even put egg at all. For all this donut that we buy outside, ready-made donut, they don't put egg. Just put the basic things and add plenty sugar, plenty flavor, and knead it very well. By the time it comes out, you will think that you are eating something. Meanwhile, the nutritional value of it is next to nothing.
Thank God that it will even
So,
reduce
and
cost for us too.
another thing is that recipe differs. So you need to really sit down and, compare them. You need to compare. You're not just comparing only the flour. You are comparing all the other ingredients, just like cake. We have various recipes for
Ah,
vanilla. Only vanilla cake has almost like 100 recipes. Do you
okay.
understand that? So some would say put 1 egg. Some would say put 10 eggs. Some would say separate your eggs. So just like that too. We have various recipes out there that you can use. So depending on the recipe, but this particular 1 egg is okay. You can go as far as using 2 if you so wish. Any other question? Let's check our donut, our dough.
Well, sorry, ma, for bringing us back to the bread making part, ma.
Okay, just hold on. Can you see?
Yes, ma.
So it's ready for shaping and molding. So I'm listening to you.
Yes, ma. My question is the
I'm
temperature of
listening.
the temperature of the oven, and like how
Okay.
many minutes we bake. We didn't talk about that, ma. For bread, how many?
Oh, thank you
Oh,
for bringing that up.
thank you, ma.
I was hoping that somebody will notice. So a round of applause for you for noticing that. So for the temperature, depending on what you're using, Fahrenheit or centigrade, so it's usually between 350 is the best, which is equivalent to 180. 350 is still the best, which is equivalent to 180. Did we get that?
Very
Did you
well.
get what I said? Yes,
Yeah.
okay. So for the time, you will have to, depending on the size of the dough, the size of the pan that you are using, it should not be less than 20 minutes, but not above 35 minutes. So as you are baking, once your temperature is already stabilized, the moment you have two options. Now I need us to listen carefully here. We have two options. It's either you preheat your oven, but if you don't have the time to preheat your oven, you can put your bread, your dough that is ready to bake inside the oven and light up your oven. But you must be there to watch the temperature. So within the first 5 to 10 minutes, you must attain the temperature that you need, which is either 350 or 180, depending on the degree that you're using, either Fahrenheit or centigrade. So within the first 5 to 10 minutes, the temperature must be stabilized at either 350 or 180. Now, this is for this particular bread. There are other bread varieties. There's fruit bread, there's cheese bread, there's banana bread, all manner of bread. So each one of them has its own peculiar temperature to work with. But for this particular recipe, white bread, I call it butter bread. That's the name I gave it. So for this particular recipe, 180 or 350 is okay for you. Then the time depends on the size of the pan. I showed you so many bread pan sizes. So for the 250 one that we use, I normally once it's above 20, going to 25, I'm ready. I'm waiting. So what I do is, let me demonstrate. Pan and cover. Okay, no, you remember that we said that you have to grease the cover as well, the lid, and also grease the pan. Now, once the bread rises up to a particular height, that's like about 1 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes into the fermentation process, the dough will have met with the cover. So once it meets with the cover, you won't be able to open the cover. It will form friction. You will feel the friction in your hand. So don't force it to open. So while you are baking, as soon as the bread is baked enough, once you remove the lid, it will move freely on the bread. Once you push it a little and it moves freely, it's telling you that I'm ready. I'm already baked. The only thing remaining is how brown you want it to be. Do you want it to be very brown, light, or dark, depending on how much you want it to be? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma. Very well. Thank you, ma.
But for the one that is not covered, you can easily see through as it's
Yeah.
getting brown. Once you get to the stage you want, just remove it. And one thing, the moment you off the oven or you remove the pan from the oven, make sure that almost immediately you remove it from the pan, or else it will sweat out and it will soak the bread. It's unlike cake that you can leave in the pan. You have to bring it out. In fact, preferably, you have to put it on a rack. If you put it on a surface that does not have holes under, it will still sweat on the table and the down will be soggy. So it's always better that you use a rack. Somebody, please open that place. There are some racks there. On that second layer. No. That second layer, you see some racks there. So I want to show you the small, small ones that you can use. Like this one, you can buy this one. This one's that's the bigger one of this. Then actually this one is from an oven that I was using before. So I decided to convert it. So for this one, I need to place it on something so it doesn't rest directly on the table. I have to place it on something to put the bread on. Do you hear? Do you understand? And for those of us that want to produce commercially, there's also there's also this one that you can use that is built. Can you see? Can you see? Can you see my rack?
Yes, ma.
So this one is actually built. So any other question before we proceed with our donuts? Because it's the longer we leave it. No, now look at you see the texture of the donut. You see that it's different from that one of the bread. Can you see? Oops. Can you see? See the texture. So now we need ordinary flour. Just put some inside that plastic, that cup. So now for our donuts, depending on how big you want it to be, on the size you want. So if it's for children or you just want to use it to snack at home, you can use as low as 30, 35. Okay, let's use 40. Mhm. Okay, 40 will be too small. Anyway, it depends on how big or how small you want it. If you have small, small kids at home, you can use 35, 40. But if you want to be selling and your price is like 100 naira, don't use this size. Oh. Use as low as 35, 40, maximum of 40. By the time it ferments, you will see that it will be much bigger than this. So for the purpose of this class, we will use 60. Let's use 60. For the purpose of this class, we'll use 60. So let's first of all weigh it out. Then we'll now start. I'll show you the different methods to mold it. You can also make it bigger. You can make it as big as 80, 100, depending on what you want to achieve, how big you want it to be. Àwọn ní tó wà nísàlẹ̀ nínú tray ẹ̀hẹ́ àwọn need them. Yeah, and this one. So we clear the table so that the trays can come in. Let's take this one for you. Clear this, remove this, put this be empty there. Okay. So you help me to spread it out one by one. Yes, I think that's the second tray of this one. It's supposed to be two. So 60. So Let me quickly show you how to. You see that we still have a lot, and we've already made 9. So you can imagine the number of donuts that this 1 kg will give you. So if you want to do it at home and you are not that many, or you don't want to stack it away in the fridge, and make 500 grams. Just reduce, just divide all the measurements by half. All the measurements, just make it half each, and you are good to go. Okay. And you can use this one. So alone line fún bread àbí? That you cover bread there. Did you use it? You didn't use it, oh, it might be somewhere inside. Okay, we used it. On the cold bread. Okay. So after this one, I will make it a bit bigger. So I've already cut out 15 pieces at 60 grams each. So this is still the bulk that I have left. So if you are making at home and you may want to make like up to like 20 or 30, 20 to 30, just use 500 grams at this size of 60. But if you want to make it, maybe it's a party or something, you can make it bigger. You can make it bigger. You can make it as big as, let's use 80. Let's use 80. Okay. So you can scale it for both kids and adults. If you are having a party or a weekend get together, or even at home for you and your family on a Sunday. Just make small sizes for yourself, for the children, and the bigger ones for adults. You can always put it in the fridge. I remember those days I used to have donuts in the fridge. That's what we snack on. I don't allow my children to go out, even before I started baking. I don't like them buying snacks from outside. I remember when I first got married, let me make you laugh small. One of the things my husband said is, when you start having children, say you and your children we will not be fighting for snacks like this. Because those days of when Mr. Biggs nearly came, I will be crying, that I want to eat Mr. Biggs. And where we are staying is far off Mr. Biggs. After giving him horrors for like a day or two, you will have to send somebody to go and get. That's how much I love snacks. So when I said I was going into baking, he said, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. So this is 86. So you can just remove small bits from this. This is the last one remaining. And just remove small bits and then add to the one of 80 something to make it bigger. Okay. Yeah. So now, so for the 60 grams, we have 15 of it. 15. For the 80 grams, we have 10. So that gives you a rough idea of what you can produce from 1 kg. So if you don't want this much, just make it into half, 500 grams. You can even make 250 if you know how to work your math very well. Just divide everything by 4. And the ones that cannot be divided by 4, like egg, just use the whole of one egg and reduce your water. Do we understand that mathematics? So now I want to go to the aspect of molding. Now, there are different ways to mold donuts. You can use your palm, just tuck it in, in, in. Flip it over and start doing it around like this. As you are doing it, it will be closing. It will be closing. Just make sure that it is closed. Because if it is not closed, as it's rising, it will open mouth. So it's very, very important. It's very important. See that it's almost closed. And it's not sticking to my hand. You notice, see, that's almost finished closing. You're not exerting much pressure. Just keep rolling it in between your two palms. Do you see? So now, another dimension to this one is for those of us that use foil plates. You can use the cover of the. It's okay. You can use the cover of the foil plate to be the one that you will use to hold your donut dough on it. So that by the time you want to take it, you don't need to use your finger to lift. You can just tilt it into the oil and you go into the oil. But if you are the careful one, you can still lift it. Just make sure that you don't, if you exert too much pressure, you can deflate. So that's where you have to be careful. So then some other people just roll without folding it in. Just roll. As you are rolling, it will be forming into a ball. You are rolling, it's forming into a ball. So there are different ways, different ways that you can use. Different ways. Then I will teach us the ring one now after this. There are different ways of doing donut, of shaping it. So many ways. Just like that one of bread too. So many ways of molding it. Even the smell, as you have not started baking, even the smell, the aroma is already filling everywhere. The aroma is already. So for the ring form, there are two ways. After rolling it like this, you cover it with either cling film, but make sure that you leave space so that as it's expanding, it will have space. Don't cluster everything together. So for the ring form, there are two ways to it. After you have rolled like this and you have allowed it to rise to double in size, what you just do is hold it with your two thumbs at the center, then your second finger also at the center, under. So just make a hole. And after making the hole, you can now do like this. You can see that it's forming a ring. Do you see? Yeah, formed the ring. Or the other method, grease your table just a little with a little bit of flour. Put small also on it or on the rolling pin. Flatten it out. Should not be too flat. Nor should it be too thick because it will still get bigger. Just a bit of flour on the surface. Then your cutter. or donut cutter. I normally dip it in flour so that it will not, the dough will not stick to it, and place it. And here you are. Because there is flour on the table, it will not stick. So it will just come out clean. And you place it either using this, or if you have baking sheets, you can cut it into small, small sizes so that you can lift it individually. So that's for donuts. Do we have any question? Do we have any question? So the remaining pieces, you just set that together. You can still flatten out if it is still big enough, and you cut a second one. Or you had all the pieces from different ones, and just make sure that there's no wastage. And don't put too much flour on it so that it can come out nice. Do you have any question on that? Another one? You can, if it's not wide enough, you can stretch it a bit. Any other question? Any question? Any question? Are we here? Are we still here?
Yes, we
Yes.
are here.
Any questions for donuts? And my regards in the house. Any addition?
Sorry, I just joined now. I don't know how you can help with that.
Okay, I'll just do this. Let's see if there's any other question. We'll just do a short recap.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other person before we do a quick rundown of what we have covered today?
Hello, ma.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to ask a question. You see the donut, the one that is the flat one.
Okay.
You know, you made two design now. The one that you rolled
Yes.
and then the one that you use the
Yes.
I don't know whether the cutter.
The cutter,
Yeah,
yes,
the one
donut cutter.
you use the cutter to make. Will it be able to rise up? Because I looked at it and it's
Yes,
so flat.
it will rise. In fact, let me see if I can share my screen. I have
Thank you.
I have it on my phone. So that after the quick run run through of what we have done, I will share my screen so that you can see the outcome. I'm sorry, I'm supposed to have the donuts in different stages, but I had a lot to do yesterday till this morning. So I don't have, but I will show you what to expect.
Thank you.
You are most welcome. Any other person? Okay, so let me do it. Okay. My able assistant will continue with the rolling while I give you a quick rundown of what we did today. So we started with bread making, and then we introduced all our ingredients, the major ingredients, our flour, sugar, salt, and the yeast. Those four, if any one of them is missing, you are not making bread. You are making something else. Those four must compulsorily be present. Butter is optional. Some use vegetable oil, optional. Some use all the improver, the preservative, all those ones are just additions. You see that agege bread that you're looking at, most of those things are not there. Do you get? And that's why they're able to sell it so cheap. That's why they're able to sell it so cheap. So flour, salt, sugar, butter, and yeast, those very key. Then we have improver. So what the improver does is to help us improve the condition under which the yeast is acting. The yeast is acting, eating up the sugar. It's like you're giving the yeast food to eat. It's eating sugar. So as it's eating the sugar, it's producing carbon dioxide, which is what fermentation is all about. You are giving yeast food to eat, and at the end of the day, it's producing carbon dioxide, and that carbon dioxide is the one that forms the air inside any dough that you are using yeast to do. So that's what gives it that volume. Like when you're doing puff puff, it's still the same science. Yeast and sugar with other things that we are providing for them to act together to provide a better condition for the yeast to act. So that is what bread, anything dough is all about. Whether bread, whether donuts, whether anyone that even puff puff, pizza, all those things that involve yeast and sugar. That's basically what is going on there. And like I said, that the quantities that you are adding for each of the ingredients is very key, very, very important. Let me check breading. Actually, item. So it's very, very important. The item that you get is very, very important. So after adding, I've given the recipe. I've given the recipe. So let me give you a quick rundown for those that are just joining. So we have flour 1 kg, the old one, the old one, yeah, no, the one covered. So we need to monitor. Okay, just do it. Okay, so flour 1 kg, sugar 120 gram, salt 14 gram, improver 2 grams, preservative 2 to 4 grams we used for. Then powdered milk 10 grams. You can use as little as 4 and as much as 10, depending on how rich you want it to be. Then your yeast 10 to 15. You can use 10 when the weather is very hot because you need heat for the two, the sugar and the yeast, to be able to perform their magic. You need a warm environment, and that's why we normally cover. We use things, you can use blankets or towel to cover. Then, of course, you need butter. Butter will provide both the oil needed and also to give it flavor. It's part of what produces flavor. Then our normal flavor, we use super milk flavor, 1 teaspoon for that 1 kg. Then water, we used 500 grams of water. So the procedure is for you to mix all the dry ingredients and make sure that you avoid the yeast and the salt coming in contact. It's always good if you can use something to mask the salt. Like in fact, you can first of all measure the salt and put the flour on it, the 1 kg flour on it. Or you measure the flour, put the salt at one corner, put sugar to mask it, and then all the other ingredients. Measure everything together, or you can measure everything separately in small bowls so that you don't forget anything. You can measure out everything in small bowls. After measuring, you now add everything together. So into your mixer, and if you are mixing with hand, just mix initially everything together, make a hole in the center, pour in your liquid in bits, and keep mixing, and then you get to the point of kneading. If you are kneading with hand, it will get to a point that it will be stretchy. You need to get to that level that it is stretching. Once it starts stretching, it's telling you that I'm almost arriving. So, and the test that you can use to actually confirm that it's well kneaded is a window pane test, whereby you gradually stretch a small dough, keep stretching until it's transparent and it's not breaking. You see, I broke it, but it has to be transparent and does not break as it is forming it's already starting to ferment. So it's not, okay, I can still get it. So that's for bread. Then you scale it depending on the size of your pan. If you're using a small pan, you can use this. You can use any pan of your size of your choice. The one that we used 250 grams of the dough in it. Then we have another one that we use 100. Then we have another one that you can, depending on the size. So then, very important also, you grease your container, your pan, you grease it. It's very important. You have to grease. You grease if you are covering it, you grease also the cover. Oh, and we grease also the cover. Very important. So that the dough does not stick once it has risen up to the level of the pan. Then you have two options. You can leave the pan open. When you leave the pan open, the bread that will come out will be dome shape in the on the top. It's not be flat. But if you use cover, it will be flat, depending on your choice. This also you can use this another pan. A different you can use even if you are a cake baker, you can use any of your pans to bake, but not just make sure that it's not too big. If it's even if it's a big one, just portion it like we did for one of the, just portion it, divide into equal parts, arrange them, make them into circle, into to ball form, make them into ball and arrange them. Then you also grease. Okay, like so, like this. This one I covered it, that's why the top is flat, but it's also divided. So with this one now, if you want to eat, you don't want to cut, you can just pull one side or two, and you are good to go. And you return the rest into the nylon or the package or the fridge, whichever one you pick it from. Then, like I said, it's very then to give it added flavor, and then for the face not to be too dull by the time you finish baking, for the surface not to be too dull, you use butter to rub your dough. That's for the bread. You use butter to rub your dough. And that's about all. Then for the donuts, can somebody help me out to explain what we did with the donuts? I've done that for the bread. So can somebody from the participants go ahead and give us a rundown of what we did for the dough, for the benefits of those that are just coming online? Somebody and they
Okay,
volunteer.
good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. Please introduce yourself and where you're joining from.
My name is Oluwatosin Agboge, Beulah Cake House. I'm
Okay.
joining from Lagos.
Okay.
Okay, I'll just quickly do a rundown. If I'm missing out anything, just please correct me, ma. Okay, so for the
No
donuts making,
problem.
for the
Okay.
donut making, we listed out all our recipe. That's the ingredients to make the donuts. So we used flour, 1 kg, sugar we measured into the flour on the scale, zeroing our scale at every point. We used 120 grams of sugar. We added our 14 grams of salt. As she rightly explained, that we should not allow the yeast to have contact with the salt so that it will not reduce um quality, the quality and
The
improvement of,
potency.
yes, potency of
The
our
potency.
yeast, the potency of our yeast. Okay, so separately, maybe at the side of the bowl, we added 14 grams of salt. Then we added 10 grams of yeast, and we also added our nutmeg, half teaspoon of nutmeg. And she explained that if you love to have a special taste, you can add cinnamon. But if you are adding cinnamon and nutmeg, then that means you'll be using quarter teaspoon of cinnamon and quarter teaspoon of nutmeg. And again, that you could even reduce the cinnamon. It may not even be up to quarter teaspoon, because cinnamon is very sharp in flavor, and the aroma comes out very quickly. So she said we can reduce the quantity of our cinnamon. Instead of using quarter teaspoon, we can reduce it, then add our nutmeg to it. Then we should also add our milk. That's 4 grams of milk into the, that's at all our dry ingredients together. Then at that stage we can mix it in our spiral mixer for about 3 or 4 minutes thereabout. Then after that, that's the first step. Then we added our butter into it while it's mixing. That's 40 grams of butter we added to it. Then the third part, we added our egg. That's 1 egg. The reason why we add our egg is so that by the time we are adding our water, we'll not have excess water to add. So the water and the egg is a liquid. So then there's a way that will balance it. So she added, after the butter, she added egg. Then the fourth thing we added was the water, 500 grams of water, and that water was added gradually. So at the start, she did not add everything. Reason that the flour varies in quality. The flour varies so that some flours they can accommodate more water and some will not take a lot of water like that. So she added the water gradually, but 500 grams of water was measured in. The last thing she added was flavor, and she said flavor is optional, but if we had to eat, it will give our donuts a very good aroma and quality taste. Even before eating it, you feel the taste, the smell everywhere. Then we kneaded it. After kneading for a while with our mixer, she tested it by checking if we can, okay, stretching it with her hand. She called it window pin, right? Am I right, ma?
Pain,
Pail.
P-A-N-E, pain,
The
window
pail, yes,
pain.
pail, window pail. So she tested it by stretching it. So we can notice, when we notice that we can see through from it, like it's very light, then that means our dough is ready
And it's not tearing.
and it's not
And it's
tearing
not
apart.
tearing.
Yes, it's not
Yes.
tearing. Stretchy, transparency. We can feel this transparency from the center. So then that means our dough is ready for rolling. So after that, she measured using the scale, but before then she prepared the tray. That's the paper that will, or our, what's it called now, the
The
cover
cover
of
of a foil
a
paper,
plate,
foil
yeah,
plate.
or a baking sheet. We can
Mm.
pieces it, then we sprinkle a little flour on it so that by the time we put our dough on it, it will not be sticking to it. So then after that, she measured the dough out at once, everything measured evenly at once, depending on the size of the dough you want. Okay, now she showed us two methods of rolling. That's the ball part that she's doing presently. Then the other part is the cutter, the donut cutter that she used. So I will explain the donut cutter. She said we'll roll it. Yes, that's it, ma. Thank you, ma. So she rolled it on the surface table. She sprinkled a little flour on the table so that it will not stick. She sprinkled a little flour on the rolling pin also so that it will not stick. Then she now rolled it with the rolling pin. Then she used the donut cutter to cut it out. That one gave us that ring donut that we are seeing. And the other one, she used the hand mold method. Yes, that's the summary. Thank you, ma.
Thank you very much. Did we all get it? Did we all get our explanation?
Yes, thank you.
Any question?
Yes,
Any
ma.
question? Any more question? No more question. Okay, let's our host, do you have anything to say to us?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Right. So
You're
after
welcome.
doing this, do we now fry it in
Yes, you allow it to rise, to double in size.
right?
Then you use a pot that
Okay.
has depth. Don't use
Right.
flat pan, something like that,
Okay.
because you are going to do deep frying.
Right.
You're using something we call deep frying.
Yeah.
You use deep frying. So you pour your oil, allow it to heat.
Right.
Allow it to heat very well. Once you get to, so what I normally do is, there's no way you will roll all these things that you will not have a little bit left. So all those small leftover, they are the ones that I normally use to test whether my oil is ready
Okay.
or not. Yes,
Yeah.
those are the ones that I normally use. So just drop small bits into the oil. So once it comes up, that means your oil is ready for
Right.
you to
Okay.
put your donuts. So we are using, bring it to the center. So we are using cling film to cover
Okay.
the donut so that it can give it a bit of heat. You understand? So, just cover it with your cling film. If the weather is too cold, you can use your clean towel on it. No, the blue one, that blue one. So you can just use it to cover it, to give it heat, just like we did for the bread.
Yeah.
So just put it somewhere warm, not cold. So the heat, you already trapped the moisture there. It can't escape, can't get dried because of the cling film that you have put on top. Then the towel, it will give it that heat that it needs to start fermentation. So you can leave it for between 30 minutes to 1 hour. 30 minutes to 1 hour. So after the first 30 minutes, just check. You see that the size is no longer what you started with. So as soon as it doubles in size, you can fry. Or you wait till 1 hour and let it get bigger. But the fact is, once you drop it into the oil, even if it has not risen to its maximum, once you enter the oil, it will get bigger.
Right. Thank you.
So you
There's a
fry, you
question.
turn until it is brown enough for you. Some likes it very dark, some likes it light. Depends on what you want. Okay,
Right.
ma, I'm listening to the question.
Thank you. There's a question. Can we
You're
bake
welcome.
instead of frying?
Yes, some people do bake, but to be sincere with you, I've never tried the baking of donuts, but some people do bake. So if you want to do that, you need to do a bit of research on it. Or if you have anybody, any of the participants that can answer that, if you have tried it before, you can let us know. Any one of my bakers around that has tried it before, baking of donuts. Okay, so you can, if you are going to bake, the temperature should not be too high. I would suggest you use the temperature that you normally use for your cake, between 300 and 350 or 150 to 180. Then there's also this donut maker machine, I think. Yeah, there's donut maker machine. So once you do your dough, you can just cut and put it in the dough maker and donut maker machine and put it on. I don't know how that works, but I know I've seen it somewhere. But I don't know how it works. Any other question?
Any question, anyone?
Okay, mine is not a question actually, but I just want to ask, ma, can we see the outcome of the bread, even the progress of the bread making?
Okay.
Let's have a view of
Yes.
it.
Yes. Yes. Just give me one of it. Give me that small one. Can you remember how small it was when we started? Can you see
Wow,
it?
wow. This is the
Can you see?
uncovered.
Yeah, this is the uncovered one. Can you see?
Yes.
So this one is almost ready to enter the oven. It's almost ready to enter the oven. The covered one. So, and this is the covered one. Can you see?
Yes.
Can you see the progress? You can see the
Yeah.
progress. You remember how small it, remember how
Yeah.
tiny it was when we entered
Very,
the
very.
oven.
Yes. 250 grams.
So yes, so that's the progress. So by the time it is done baking, you have it coming out big.
Thank you, ma.
So
Right. Sister GB. Phoebe, you raised your hands. Do you want to talk?
Yeah, you guys hearing me?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm hearing
Yeah, ma'am.
you. Hello, are you hearing Nama?
Hello?
Hello, I
So
can
I
hear
have
you.
okay, I have two questions actually. My first question is like, can we get like a recipe for glaze? Like let's say we want to glaze the
Okay, if
donut.
Okay,
you sorry, I'm not sure she's here now. Maybe she's
I'm here. I'm here.
okay, ma.
Can you
Thank
hear
you.
me? Yes,
Yeah.
I'm still here.
Yes, ma'am. Okay,
So, any
sorry
more
to bother you,
question?
but yes, please. I have two questions. My first question is
Okay.
for the donut. Like, can we get like a recipe
Can
for
you speak a
glaze?
bit louder? Can you speak a bit louder?
Sorry, 1 minute. Uh,
Hear me now, Karama.
Hello, I can't hear. I can barely hear you.
Okay. Sorry, can we get a recipe for glaze for the donuts if possible? That's my first question.
Yeah, I should give a rundown on the recipe for donuts.
No, yeah, no, for a glaze. Glaze. I need a recipe for
For
glazed.
glazed donuts.
Yes.
Okay, for glazed donuts. I'm not so good at it. So what I'm not good at, I don't put my finger in it. So, but I
O-
can search for you and send it to our host, and she will send it across.
Okay, thank you. I also would love to like get a written recipe because I tried to write, but it was not really, I wasn't really able to keep up. So
Yeah,
if
not really
possible,
fast. Okay,
thank you so much, ma'am.
okay. I'll forward it to her.
Thank you so much, my God bless you.
Any other question? Amen, and you too.
Hello, ma. I have a
Yes,
question.
ma.
You see the bread that you said we can tear. You remember the one that you showed us
Mm.
earlier? How do we make that? What? The one we can cut.
The donuts, the wheat,
Yeah.
that one that you can cut.
Thank you, ma. And also, I would like
I
to have
made
the
that
recipe
one.
for the
There's one
donut.
that we made. Hold on. There's one that we made two pieces inside that small one. It's hard for my take over that small pan that we made two. Good. Okay. So can you see? Bring the camera closer.
Yeah. Uh, okay, I
Can you
can
see
see.
it?
Yes, ma'am.
This is two inside. So what you do is whatever quantity that you want to put in the pan, just divide it into two or three or four, depending on how many you want,
Okay,
and
ma'am.
roll it out and put it in the pan. As it is fermenting, it will be getting bigger, and at a point they will come together. You can see
Yes, ma'am.
in the middle. So they will come together, and then by the time you put in the oven, they will come out as twin like this. But if you have like this one, I made this one for.
Yes, like that. Yes, exactly. This is the one I saw, and I think it will be better. So you don't have to use knife to cut again. You just tear it.
Exactly. So steer it. So what you do is like for this for now, this is wheat bread. And it's for wheat bread, you need to use bigger quantity for that same pan. So this is a 400 gram, and I divided the 400 into four. That is each one is 100 gram,
Okay.
and I molded it, and I just arranged it randomly in the pan, and this is what came out.
Oh,
Just arranged randomly.
okay.
It doesn't have to follow a particular pattern.
Hmm.
Just arrange it randomly, and
Hmm.
it
Thank
just
you,
come
ma.
out beautifully. So for this one, I covered it. I didn't mean that I did not cover it. The surface will be
Hmm.
dome shaped.
Yes, ma. Thank you, ma. Thank you.
Are we good? Any other question? Any other question?
Also, you talked about improver the other time. I think I missed it a little bit. I just came in then. I missed everything about the bread. The improver. What does it do? And
For the improver, like I said, it gives the the dough a kind of environment. The yeast, sorry, a kind of environment to work in. So how will I liken it to now? It's like salary bonus. When you give a worker salary bonus, if you work better, you understand? It's like giving the yeast a
Yes, ma'am.
ginger. Yeah, so that's what improver does. It makes the environment better for the yeast to work in. Then the preservative is just to minimize speed of spoilage. So that's all. Another question. We're about rounding up. I'm sorry I did not prepare the donuts ahead of time. So I'm sorry that I don't have a donut to physically show you today. I'm sorry about that. It's an omission on my part. I'm very sorry about that.
Um,
But we all know what donuts, we all know what donut looks like. So at the end of the day, the donut too will just rise like this. The volume will get bigger because it's trapping hair inside. So hold on a minute. Let me show you one thing. Just a minute.
Right, while waiting for
Hold on,
our
Tiani.
trainer,
Hold
let
on,
me quickly
Tiani.
give you some information. This is Pure Skills Network Foundation. We do run some of these trainings. It's free, so it's free of charge. You are free to always come in. The idea is for us to encourage people to start their businesses, especially so people will learn it, to use in the house. And for some of us, some of the people that are coming, they learn it to start something little, part of entrepreneurship. They try to start their own small business through it. And you are always very invited or to invite your friends anytime we're doing this. I've shared some information on the chat, our email address and our YouTube channel. We'll be posting this recording on the YouTube channel, so we'll be happy for you to check that later, to subscribe, to like it, to share information about the outcome of today. And one thing we want to do as well is to set up a challenge. If after today, if you can bake your own bread or your donut, fry your donut, and send the picture of you doing it and the outcome to our email address. We want to pick the best one. I will probably share the pictures with our trainer and we'll pick the best one for an award. So try and do that before we forget about it. Practice it. Prepare your bread or your donut. Well, we want to see the bread. I would like to see the bread. And it's good to have your donut as well and your picture doing it and the outcome and send it to our email address, which I've shared on this chat channel. Is admin@pureskillsnetwork.org. And I've shared our YouTube channel as well on the chat section. So thank you. So I will hand over to our trainer again to continue. Thank you.
Okay, so I wanted to show you, I said something about molding your dough very well. If you don't mold it very well, there are consequences, like this one now. It's supposed to be round, but because I did not fold it in very well, you can see that it's as if it's tearing, and they really kept it. So you can see. You can see. So this is how it's going to come out by the time I bake. And the reason is because I did not fold it well enough. So as it's expanding, the gap too will be expanding. As it's fermenting and expanding, the gap will be, before you know what is happening, it will open up. So that's even for donuts too. If you don't fold it well, mold it very well, and make sure that there's no gap, don't get it well sealed. This is what's going to happen. So I deliberately kept this since yesterday. I had to put it in the fridge so that the fermentation can stop. So that's why what I went to quickly pick up so that you can see it. So having said that, let me reintroduce myself. My name is Adebolande Adetunji, and I'm the privileged CEO of East Oven Bakery. I'm based in Lagos, Nigeria, Maryland, and Maine Day to be precise. I am into baking. I bake cakes. I make pastries. I make small chops, bread, and parfait, both cake and fruit parfait, and chin chin. So those are the things like chin chin, like donuts, like bread. Those are the things that you can easily do even in your apartment. I'm home based. I used to run a shop about 2, 3 years ago, but when I moved to Mende, I don't have a shop. I bake from home. So I bake from the comfort of my home. So you don't have any excuse. There's nothing like I don't have money for shop. No. Now the internet is open for all of us to market our products. So whatever you are doing, just market it and make sure that you do it well. Make sure you do it. Anything you are doing, do it well. By the grace of God, I'm well advanced in age, but I didn't let that one disturb me. I didn't let that one, bother me. I started baking. In fact, I started learning how to bake when I was close to 50. When I was very close to 50, I started baking. And I discovered that majority of the people I come across as fellow bakers, they are much younger. But that doesn't stop me. So if you are out there, you are somebody like me, or you are still working 9 to 5, you can still add all these little things. They will bring in something for you. I'm very sure. And then don't let the training stop here. Go for more. Look for people around your vicinity that can help you, to shaping what you have learned today. So today is just a beginner's thing, just to encourage us, just to let us know that it's doable, it's possible. So I would love to hear feedbacks from you from time to time. And then if you, by any means, you want to come in for training here, why not? Just give me a call or go through our posts. Am I permitted to share my phone number? Our host. Hello, ma.
Hello, ma. Sorry. I was
Can
checking
I
all the
share
messages,
all the
whether
messages?
you've
Okay.
got any questions. Sorry, I'm sorry,
Yes, I
Fafi.
said, can I share my phone number and my location with people?
Of course, if you're happy to do that, please.
Okay. So I am available for training, either online training or physical training, depending on what you want to learn. And then I will give you my phone number. So if you have any further question, and actually, I would love to see what you have practiced. I would really love to see it. And that is what to make me know that whatever time you have spent here today is not in vain. Somebody has picked something from there. So my phone number is 070 070 33 55 0128. Again, 070 33 55 0128. That's my business line. The other line is 070 50 72 5515. 070 50 72 5515. So you're free to call me. The name again is Adetunji Adebolanle of Aegis Oven Bakery. God bless you. I'll be glad to hear from you very soon. Thank you. Thank you for having me. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, ma. Thank
You're
you.
most
We really
welcome.
appreciate this. And people asking for, I've seen somebody saying, oh, what of cake, what of decoration?
Yeah,
We'll still
I
get
do
our
cake.
trainer back for something else. Anyway, don't worry.
I do cake, I do decorations too. So
Yeah,
anytime,
yeah,
just
okay.
give me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you so much.
you're
That's
most welcome.
fantastic. And for those who asked me to resend the email address for the for Pure Skills Network Foundation, I've resent it on the chat box and I've resent the YouTube channel. It will be great if you go subscribe to us and like it and share information about that. And if you can send the picture of you, as I've said, the video, picture and your even if it's a small clip of you doing something and your outcome, what you prepare, if you can send it to the email address admin@pureskillsnetwork.org so you can enter into the prize draw. I'll share it with the trainer to pick the best out of it. And yeah, so then we can. But please include your email address and telephone number. There was a time we did cloth printing, cloth design, batik and all this at the Reta and that. After the 3 sessions, somebody did a fantastic job. And we said, okay, send your video. She sent the video, but no email, no number, no email address. We couldn't get back to her to say this what you from the price draw, this is what you are having. But we couldn't get back to her anyway. But please, when you are sharing your work, share your telephone number. Let us know the country you're sending it from, the number is from, and your email address. Thank you so much, ma. God bless you,
You're
and
most welcome. Amen.
thanks to everyone that participated. And we'll be happy for you to utilize this and start something. We can all do something and support others. That's how we can make the countries where we live better. Yeah. So yeah, God bless you all. Do we have any question, any final thought? Anyone want to say something? Yeah, very welcome.
Hello, ma. Hello,
Yes, ma'am.
can I speak?
Hello.
Thank you so much, ma. Thank you for
Yes, you
organizing
try.
this. And thank you to Mommy Adetunji too for the time. She spent a lot of time because I know she started 10 o'clock. And I didn't even know it started 10 o'clock. I came after 11. But I've really, really, really been blessed. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you so
You're
much.
most welcome.
And I wanted to ask a question, but she's giving me the details that I want, her number, and I will definitely reach out to her. And then I want to ask this question, the organizers. You said something about organizing something around Adire and everything. And I'm just wondering, this time we have most of our children, teenagers on holiday. Will you be bringing something like that back? Because honestly, they need to learn things like this to keep them busy during this holiday and get their hands on. So that's my question, ma. And at the same time, thank you again. I'm really, really blessed. Thank you. God bless you.
Okay, thank you so much, ma. That's a very great idea. We're happy to bring that back. Actually, we're waiting for the trainer on soap making, which we've been waiting for. But if she's available anytime soon, we'll put the training up. And if you want us to go for the Adire, but the issue is how to get through to this youth. We'll be happy for them to learn this and be able to start something. When I graduated and I didn't get a job, I learned how to make art, how to make earring and all those things. And things like this can keep one on, for some time. And I've seen some people that are really invested in this kind of thing. They started little and it grew up like that. And they started expanding it. Well, whatever we lay hands on, God can bless anything. So if you are happy to, if you can send me your email address, and we know how to access to get through to this youth to bring them together, we can put up another training on Abdire and things for everybody and to invite this group of people you've mentioned as well. That would be a joy. That's what the foundation is for us to
If you
support
don't
as
mind,
many as
let me ask,
possible. Yeah.
let me add my little experience concerning training our youth. I'm a person of many skills. At a point in time, I learned how to make hair. And then those days, because my husband is not disposed to all this handiwork thing. So when I come back from training, I used to hide in the room. And my children, they love to hang around me. So the two of them, the two grown-ups, the boy and the girl, so they will stay with me while I'm practicing. So I have this trolley in my room. So I will tie attachments, as a rope, and I'll be using it to practice how to braid, how to do twist. So they were there with me, and through that they picked these things. That was when they were in secondary school. So by the time my daughter entered the university, she started using. She didn't go to learn. It was while I was learning that she was picking from what I was doing. By the time she entered the university, she was braiding hair for people and she was making her money. I know the wonderful part of it is that by the time she graduated and finished her NYC, she didn't get a job immediately. And that was the time this braids wig, you know, came up. And she just went to meet her friend that put her through on how to put it on this cap that they use. That one just taught her how to put it. And that was what she was using to take care of herself. In fact, anytime she has work to do, the three of us will gather together. So she'll be picking it from the base, use her pin, to put in the attachment. She will either braid or twist it halfway. Myself and the boy, we will pick it from there. We will do pin, pin, pin. Before you know what's happening, we are finished 1 week. Within 2 days, we are done with 1 week. So she will just do even the trimming, we assist her to trim. And that was how she was selling braids wig for like almost a year before she got a job. And even till today, she's still making it. She went further. She eventually taught my younger sister how to do it. And when she started doing that, my younger sister, when she started, you can check her on Instagram. What's her name? Air Fusion by TT. Hair, HAIR Fusion, FUSSINO then by TYTY. That's TT. You can go and check her page on Instagram and you understand what I'm saying better. She went from there to go and learn how to make real wig. Now she's importing woman hair, converting it to wig, revamping wigs for people. She's catching in on her millions. Honestly, her millions are coming in. And God so favored her. She got some customers from outside the country, and they will order. All these things are expensive there, so they will order from there. She'll get some. She will package it, send it through DHL. And that's how she's making her money. She's not doing any other thing outside that. They date. That's what she's using. That is what she's doing. And she started from picking something from her niece, and that was it. So no knowledge is lost if we can just key into it. No knowledge is lost. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thanks for sharing that. That is very powerful and very impactful. Thank you. And thanks so much for your
Welcome.
time today. And thanks to Sister Yemi Kote. Yeah, I've seen the email address and so I'll reach out about the youth you've mentioned. It's good to work together and see how we can bring them together and support them and just support people as much as we can. And God will bless all our work in Jesus' name. Oh,
Amen.
I could say somebody is raising hand to say something. Sorry, who is raising hand? Oh, sorry. Please, Sister Ime Gibson.
Yes, good morning. Thank you so much, Ma. I asked
You're
this question
welcome.
in the chat, but I didn't hear reply when she was actually working. Some people used to say they don't eat pastry work because of the butter. So I just said, let me find out if it's possible to do with vegetable oils like olive oil or whatever in the place of butter. Is it possible?
I'm not 100% sure, but I know that for some recipe you can use only vegetable oil. For some bread
Okay.
recipe, you have to research that. I know that like for
Okay. Thank you,
agege
ma.
bread,
Thank
our popular agege bread, we use both vegetable and butter. But for pure vegetable oil, I'm not 100% sure. But I know for oat bread, yeah, for oat
mm.
bread, you don't need butter. For oat bread, you don't need butter. There are some recipes of oat bread that you don't need butter. There are some recipes of this other bread. Hmm, what's the name now?
Wheat.
There's one other bread that's
Wheat.
no for my own wheat, I use butter. But there's some also recipes that are for vegans. They don't use butter.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. There are
Thank you
recipes like
so
that. All
much,
you have
ma.
to do is just search for them. And then when you want to practice search, just use small quantity. If it is
Okay.
1,000 grams, you can decide to divide all the recipe by maybe two or four or five so that you can get to the smallest quantity that you can practice with. So when you practice, when you notice what the result is, you can know whether it's something that you can do in larger batch or not.
Thank you so much. God bless you. I'm grateful.
Thank you,
Amen.
ma.
Most welcome.
Then our
Yes,
sister
ma'am.
Amazing Grace.
Hello, ma. I'm the one that talked about the youth and the teenagers. Uh, I just want, based on what mommy said, sometimes we try, but we don't stop trying. That's just what I would say. Because we might be saying, okay, we'll teach them and some of them will not go. Those that will use it, just like she said now.
Yes.
So we just have to release the wisdom and pray for God to water it. It's not about us, but it's about let God do his own will. And those that will use it, I will use it. So, but we just have to keep trying. We don't stop. So that is just a way of encouraging. And thank you so much, man. You've been standing all the time. God bless you.
Amen. Thank you very much.
So I
Thank
would.
you, sister.
So should I just leave my email here? Or?
Yeah, you can send the email to me, or if you want to leave it here,
I
it's
don't
up
know
to
which
you.
one
Or
is
you can
yours.
send it to my email, to the email address for the charity,
Okay.
to admin@pureskillsnetwork.org. But if
Okay.
you are comfortable leaving it here, wherever, I'm happy to pick it from wherever.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, man.
I've just sent it here now.
All right, thank you. So, and again, anybody wants to share something? Oh, thank you so much, Ma. Thank you
You're
for your time
welcome.
today. You've done so much, and we're so happy. We're grateful for this opportunity. Oh, okay, Ma. I've picked the email address. I will get in touch. And thank you so much, Ma, for this opportunity. We're so grateful. And
You're
if we
welcome.
don't have any other question, we'll say thank you to her for today for this session and for all her contribution. She's been standing, as our sister said, and it's not easy like that just to stand all along,
Right.
but she's used to it,
Thank
I'm
you.
sure. Sorry, Sister Ima, you are still raising your hand. Do you want to say
I'm
something?
wondering when the next class, when we are having it, is it monthly or once in a, I don't know, is it quarterly?
We just put it up when we have trainers that are ready. We try to get different skills to say, okay, if it depends on their availability to get through. It's very flexible. We can just put anything up, and it depends on when we get somebody to come and train us a different skill. But we've got a request now that we can go back into Adire, and our trainer for today has still got other things to teach us as well. So it depends on the availability. And as I've said, we're waiting for somebody to teach us soap making. So we're putting that across as well. So yeah. Sister
Okay.
Gabe, sorry. Sister Gabe, please, you can go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Okay, so I just want to say, like, first of all, I love the class of today. Thank you very much, Ma. God bless you. Then, secondly, I've not been able to see the chat. I've been trying my hardest to understand where this chat, because this is my first time joining, right? And I'm not seeing anything. Like, all the information being passed across. But I have sent an email though, but I don't know if it's possible for me to see the ditch. I don't know what's going on my phone. I really don't.
Sorry, sorry, can you repeat that? Sorry, you were.
Oh, sorry. I was speaking fast again. Sorry, ma. I apologize. Yeah, I said I'm not seeing the charts like where the information is being passed across and stuff.
Oh, you can't see all the chat messages.
I thought.
Okay.
And because you join late, so you start seeing from the time you join.
I'm still not seeing it. I've been trying. The thing is showing me error. I don't understand. Because I
Okay,
wanted
it
to
might
get
be
the
from your end. Can every other
yeah.
person see the chat messages?
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, sister, if
I
you
think she's not in Nigeria. She's in another country.
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have people that have joined from different countries now that I've seen. At least I know someone, a friend from US. I know Pastor, I said she's from the UK, and they can say it. So it depends on. Okay, but yeah, what I will do. Okay, sister, can you write down the email address? admin@pureskillsnetwork.org. Then I can, if you can send me an email through that. Then I can send you the channel, the YouTube channel. You can watch this over again.
Okay. I've already followed the little berry, so don't worry.
All right. That's admin@pureskillsnetwork.org. Okay.
Thank you so
All right. Yeah, thank
So
you so
before we
much.
go, let's see our dough. You can see that one that was very flat before.
Oh,
You
okay.
can see the size. You can see the sizes now. They are coming up. So I'll just wait a little while before I do the frying.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for showing us this. It's like we should continue, and we enjoy this. We enjoy looking at it. It's so nice.
We can
Yeah.
even eat part of it from the screen.
And we would have loved to see how she's pouring it inside the pan from the foil, because I've not seen this before. This is a very not time.
Okay, maybe next time.
Yeah.
Since you said she's not, yeah, she didn't get that ready for now. Okay,
Okay.
so that's fine. That's
Okay,
fantastic.
what she saying? You want to see how I'm offloading it into the
Yeah,
pan?
lifting it and putting, yes, because that lifting too, I heard it used to
For the
be
lifting.
a little tough.
No, for the lifting. See, look at it. It's very easy. That's why we used something to hold it, something that you can
Okay.
pick individually. So you can use
Okay.
either baking sheet or this cover of foil plates. So all you just do is like this into the pan. Do you see
Okay.
how it came out
Yeah.
easily?
Thank you.
Or
Thank you.
you lift it with your hand and drop either way. But if you are lifting with your hand, make sure that your hand is not wet and make sure that you're not pressing. You're taking it without
If you are lifting the
putting
one that has
pressure.
hole in the middle with your hand,
The
how
one
do
that
you
has,
do?
oh, you can pick it in the middle.
Okay, that's the work. Okay.
Even this one, the other one that I made, this one, the hole is already collapsing. So you can still put your finger
Okay.
and make it bigger.
Oh,
This,
wow.
and
Wow.
just drop.
Drop.
Very
Okay.
easy.
Okay. Okay.
Are we
Thank you.
good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Thank you so much, ma. And
You're
thanks
most
for
welcome.
today. All right. So I will say thank you. And if you can say thank you to her, that's fine. Oh, yeah, that's good. Thank you. Thanks for the reaction. Thank you
Love
so
you
much.
too.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. Thank
I'll
you.
stop
You're
Have a
most
recording
good
now. Thank you so
welcome.
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much. God bless you, ma'am.
See you some
God
other
Thank
bless
you. God
you.
time.
bless you, ma. Thank you.